Knowing which troop type to main in Call of Dragons can be a little bit overwhelming at the start when you start playing. However, worry not, as I will be helping you choose which troop you should main and going through the pros and cons of each troop, how they work, how to position with them, and all those tips and tricks. So stick around in this video as we'll be diving in infantry. What is up, guys? Now we're here back with a brand new Call of Dragons video. So as we continue in the series of who should you main when it comes to troop types in Call of Dragons, and with how each troop functions, their pros and cons, and all that juicy stuff, today we'll be diving in infantry. Infantry, aka the tanky boys, aka the builders, the destroyers, and all other nicknames they have, which I may not know. Infantry are one of the more versatile units when it comes to Call of Dragons because they have certain uses when it comes to PvE and very flexible uses when it comes to PvP, making them one of the better troops to invest in, especially if you are a whale due to how their commanders work. So we're going to be breaking down the pros and cons of infantry, their uses, how each faction has synergies with them, and every commander pairing that is currently available for infantry to know and help you formulate which troop type you want to main. So let's get started. Infantry are like the tanks of Call of Dragons because they are inherently tanky when it comes to physical defense, especially, and magic defense. However, they are more lenient towards physical tanking. That is why they are great into archers and cavalry. However, into mages, they are not as good because they have relatively low magic defense and their skills have less synergy with magic defense than physical defense because they gain an increase of physical defense when they have less HP, up to a total of 50 extra percent, but they don't gain as much when it comes to magic defense. So, what are the pros and cons of infantry? The pros, they are tanky, their commanders are super good, especially Madeline, which is one of the most OP commanders in Call of Dragons at the moment. They are very versatile when it comes to tanking and PvE because they will carry every single raid due to how they function with the Harpoon mask, and they help you pretty much take every behemoth since you cannot take a behemoth without an infantry march or two present in order to tank for your other uh, marches. Their artifacts are super good disruptors when it comes to PvP, and overall, they're really good when it comes to engineering because they gain an engineering bonus. If you don't know what engineering is, it is the ability to either build flags, build roads, build barricades, or destroy those three as well in the open field. Cons, though, they are very low damage units. Their commanders are more lenient on tanking other than Nika and Bakar. They are super hard to get rolling with properly because they need a heavy investment on troop amounts because you will lose way more than you kill with them. And of course, you're pretty much an unsung hero when you're using infantry because you won't get as many flashy reports, getting a lot of merits or kills, or even doing a lot of damages in behemoths. Now, what are the best ways to use your infantry? The best ways to use your infantry in the open field is to either lead the charge when you have an artifact such as the Greymoor's Hammer in. So you go in, you cast your stun, and then you have your allies follow up, which is pretty nice. The second one is the Dragon Scale Armor, which is you go in, you cast a shield, you tank, you absorb damage, you're a sponge, you lead the charge, but not bask in the glory of doing a lot of damage. And they are fantastic when it comes to doing raids on Behemoth because they're going to be your main tanks to help your fragile range marches from taking a lot of damage when it comes to Behemoth. Next up, their commander pairings. When it comes to commanders of the infantry, the best pairings are, of course, Madel and Nika. Nothing ever comes close to them when it comes to the main commander pairings, whether if it's an open field, whether if it's in defending passes or garrisons. However, when it comes to farming merits on infantry or PvE, Garwood, yes, Garwood, one of the weaker legendary commanders, is definitely up there, and so is Eliana if you don't have access to someone like Madeline when it comes to farming merits, or being a tank when it comes to raids. But of course, you do need Eliana awakened in order to get that healing factor to help her sustain even more and stay alive as much as possible. So just to recap the commander pairings for infantry: Madeline Nika, top tier, nothing comes close. You have Madeline Garwood, decent, just a pure damage sponge to take as much the punishment as possible. It will not dish the same amount of punishment. And then you have to farm merits with your allies, whether if you want a duel or such. You have Eliana Garwood or Garwood Eliana. However, I will make a video in the future about farming merits and the way the merit system is explained. So be sure to stay subscribed to keep up when that video comes out. That is it for infantry and all that you need to know about them. I will not compare between every single faction because every single faction has the same infantry mechanics. They have the same bonuses with just a different skin or layer for the unit animations. As for the best infantry faction, I would say League of Order because it grants magic defense, which is pretty good considering the already inherently low magic defense of infantry. So any buff they receive is fantastic. They also have the new skill, a Rampage, which they can slow the enemy range march or any target really by 75% for 8 seconds, making them an even better disrupting units when it comes to open field PvP. That is it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you learned a thing or two, please let me know by dropping a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to join our Discord if you want to have any conversations with me in regards to any of the videos, and I will see you in the next video. Meow meow.